Sunday before last, I gave a brief summary of Brihad Bhagavatamrita. How many of you were here on that day? And then we extensively discussed about Brihad Bhagavatamrita in that cruise. I wouldn't say extensively because Brihad Bhagavatamrita is a very large scripture and it gives detailed descriptions in two parts. First part is the search for the best recipient of the Lord's mercy. A devotee is the one who receives the mercy. The point is the best devotee. Narad Muni's search for the best devotee. And it gave us a graphic description of different devotees at different levels. And ultimately, Narad Muni recognized that the devotees of Vrindavan are the greatest devotees. And among those devotees, Srimati Radharani is the best. And the second part described the journey of a devotee back to the spiritual world. The journey of a cowherd boy from Govardhan, whose name was Gopkumar, and his journey back to Godhead, journey back to the spiritual world, the topmost region of the spiritual world. And how does the journey begin? How does the spiritual journey begin? That has been very wonderfully described. How does the journey begin? How many of you know? How does the journey begin? Okay, those who were in the cruise besides them. Okay, let me ask you simply. How did your spiritual journey begin?
Coming in contact with the devotees.
Very good. Okay, by coming in contact with the devotee. And then, yes, very good point. The receiving the mantra. Are you all familiar with that verse? Brahmando Brahmite Kono Bhagwan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata. So Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. So what is the Bhakti Lata Beach? The seed of devotional creeper. The seed of devotional creeper is the mantra. What does one get from Guru? From a bona fide spiritual master, one gets the mantra. And as one chants the mantra, as one meditates on the mantra, as one cultivates the mantra, then he begins to make spiritual progress. Meaning, he begins his journey on his spiritual path. Right? And then what happens? Bhakti Lata has two sons. Our Bhakti Devi has two sons. Who knows who are those two sons of Bhakti Devi? Murari, Mukunda, Jnana and Vairagya. Jnana means knowledge. So when one makes progress on the spiritual path, he receives transcendental knowledge. And Vairagya means renunciation, detachment. What is the meaning of detachment? He loses interest for materialistic activities. So by chanting, when one chants the mantra properly, the mantra can be chanted in two ways. One is impure chanting and pure chanting. The impure chanting means offensive chanting. And so when one chants the mantra purely, sincerely, offenselessly, then he begins to lose interest for materialistic activities. So we find that's what happened to Gokumar. He was a simple cowherd boy. Cowherd boy means he didn't have any education. He was very simple village boy. He didn't have any knowledge. He didn't go to school. And we'll see that in the course of his journey. Like, he didn't know anything. For example, when he met Lord Shiva, when he saw Lord Shiva, he wondered, who is he? And isn't it quite possible for a person who is ignorant, like say a common person from say Sydney, an Australian, if he comes across Lord Shiva, will he know who is Lord Shiva? Unless he is acquainted with ISKCON, So this is how it's a natural thing that this cowherd boy, anyway, so he was a simple boy, he didn't have any knowledge, he didn't know what spiritual life was. His guru, just out of his causeless mercy, he gave him the mantra. Of course, the guru saw that he was qualified. Like, when does one get a guru? Now we go back to that verse, Guru Krishna Prasadepaya. So one gets a guru by the mercy of Krishna. It's not that just by chance one comes across. Like we notice, there are so many people in Australia, so many people in Sydney, but how many of them are coming to ISKCON temple? Now we have to understand that they didn't receive Krishna's mercy. We may think, oh, why they are not coming? That is our business, to bring more and more people to Krishna consciousness. But then again, it's a consideration of qualification. In one hand, in simple way, we can see that, say, in Sydney, there's a university. What's the most prestigious university in Sydney? Okay. So, MSW.
UNSW.
UNSW, University of North South. Okay, New South. But can everybody get admitted to the university? Why not? Because unless and until one is qualified, one cannot get admitted. Now consider, ISKCON is a university. It's a university that gives spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge. Now, can anybody get admitted in the university? No, one has to be qualified. And who judges the qualification? Actually, Krishna judges the qualification. So this is how we have to look at it. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai. By the mercy of the Guru, one is getting the Bhakti Lata Beej, but one is getting the Guru by the mercy of Krishna. Of course, that shouldn't make you all puffed up. Don't think that, oh, I'm so. I received Krishna's mercy, I got admitted in a very special university and so forth. So, but that is the reality. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai. So this boy, although he was just an ordinary village boy from Govardhan, he received this causeless mercy from his Guru, who was a personality who apparently was like a madman. In the forest in Vrindavan, in Govardhan, these cowherd boys used to see him. A person whose behavior was very strange. Sometimes he would cry, sometimes he would laugh, sometimes he would sing, sometimes he would dance, and sometimes they would see that he is lying on the ground, unconscious. Now these are actually the ecstatic symptoms of devotional service. So, now receiving the mantra from his Guru and chanting the mantra, what happened to this simple cowherd boy? He lost interest in everything else. Why did he lost interest? Because he got such taste of chanting the mantra and meditating the mantra that he wanted to do that all the time. He wanted to just meditate on the mantra, chant the mantra. And he felt that all these other activities are an impediment to his chanting. Like his friends would come and say, "What are you doing here? Come, let's play." Or somebody would say, "Look, your cows are drifting away. Bring them back." And he felt that these are a hindrance to his meditation and chanting the mantra. So then Gopkumar felt, "I don't want to stay here. It's too much hassle, too much entanglement." So he left home. He started to wander around, and in the course of his wander around, he was actually having various experiences. And in course of that experiences, he began to see the Lord in his different features. He saw the Lord through the eyes of different devotees. So this is how he started to make spiritual advancement. And one thing also we noticed, in course of his chanting, he was getting different experiences. Like at one time he came across one temple. The temple actually belonged to the king. And the king was a devotee, and the king was making such beautiful arrangement for worshipping the Lord. And then when the king died, he didn't have any successor to the throne. So the minister started to look for a suitable person to become the king. And these ministers, they had the vision, they had the way to recognize the qualification of different people or the situations of different people. And they found that this person is most qualified because they saw the signs of auspicious signs in him indicating his divine qualities. So they made him the king. And this way we found that Gopkumar was going to different situations, and there he was becoming the king, or becoming recognized for the most exalted position in that situation. He goes to heavenly planet, Swargaloka, and he becomes the king of heaven. Who is the king of heaven? Indra, so he became Indra. And then he goes all the way up to Brahmaloka, where Lord Brahma is dominating. And eventually he becomes Brahma. So this is how we see also that when one serves the Lord engages him in different responsible positions. Isn't it natural, like say, if you are running an organization, like who will you appoint in the responsible position of that organization? Will you appoint just anybody? Or you appoint your favorite qualified one? So now who is the controller of this universe? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Therefore, Krishna's devotees are given different responsible positions. And what does Krishna's devotee do? Getting into that responsible position, they simply promote the glory of Krishna. They simply educate people about Krishna and the importance of becoming surrendered to Krishna, importance of becoming devotees of Krishna. So this is how we find that this devotee got different responsible positions on different planets. And then he meets his guru, the Lord himself actually advised him that you go back to the earth planet. And there, you just go back and you chant the mantra. You will receive the mercy of your Lord. And when he comes there, back to the earth planet, then he meets the spiritual master there. After a long time. Upon giving him the mantra, his guru just left. So Guru could not really advise him or instruct him about different aspects of how to chant the mantra, how to meditate and all that. So then as he was chanting, then he became free from his material body. This body is made of 5 elements, and he felt that as if this body made of 5 elements just dissolved away, and he became situated in his spiritual body. And with this body, then he went back and he went out of this universe. Went out of the universe. And then he started to experience various things. What is out of this universe? The outer cover, there are 7 outer coverings of this universe. These outer coverings are the covering of earth, covering of water, air, fire, air, ether. Then mind, and then Mahatattva. So these are the 7 coverings. And beyond these 7 coverings, he comes to the region of Prakriti, the region of Mother Nature. There Prakriti or Mahamaya is there, and then he goes beyond that. What is beyond this material universe, beyond these 7 coverings of material nature? Brahmajyoti, the brilliant light. And that light is the energy that is emanating from the body of the Lord. Called Brahmajyoti, spiritual light. And the spiritual sky is permeated by this light. This material nature is the world of darkness. Now you can see the 7 coverings. What is this coverings doing? These coverings are preventing the spiritual light to enter into this material nature. So when you go beyond this material nature, then you find this world of light. The spiritual world is the world of light. Just as in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Natad bhashayate surja na shashankava. That world is not lit by sun, moon, or electricity or fire. This world, because it's the world of darkness, to light up this world, we need sun, moon, and fire. But that world doesn't need, there is no need for sun, moon, and fire to light up, because that world is the world of light. And then he gradually elevates. So this is how we get a very clear understanding of the spiritual world. Like, this is the world of light. Spiritual light. It's not like this light. This light is fire. Isn't it? The filament, due to electricity, heats up. So fire. And the fire then gives out, the filament is heated. When it's heated up, it gives out light. Similarly, when something is burning, there's fire, so we get some light. So, that world is self-luminous. And in that world, spiritual world, there are different spiritual planets. And those planets are Vaikuntha Lokas. Then in the upper region of Vaikuntha Loka, there is Ayodhya, the abode of Lord Ramchandra. In Vaikuntha Loka, there are different incarnations of the Lord Narayana. Incarnations. In the higher part of that region, there is Ayodhya. Then even higher is Dwarka. And then beyond that is Mathura Mandal. And in Mathura Mandal, there is Vrindavan. So now, the difference between Vaikuntha and Vrindavan also is that Vaikuntha is the world of light, but in Vrindavan is like the earth planet. Therefore, the descriptions have been given about the spiritual sky. Also, there are different aspects of spiritual sky. One aspect is Adhokshaja. Adhokshaja. Adhokshaja means beyond sense perception. So, the material nature, like when you come to Brahmajyoti, can Brahmajyoti be perceived, that region of the spiritual world, can it be perceived with material senses? No. Up to the topmost region of the spiritual material nature, it can be perceived by senses. But beyond this material nature is the nature of sense perception. And that world is beyond sense perception. Therefore, that world is described as adhokshaja. Adhokshaja means beyond sense perception. Then, beyond that is the Vaikuntha Loka. Like that world is beyond our sense perception. And then the topmost region of the spiritual sky is called aprakrita. Prakrita, prakriti means material nature. Prakrita means of material nature. And aprakrita means not material. Why it is described as aprakrita? Because it appears to be like this world, but it is the opposite. An example can be given that dawn and dusk, sunrise and sunset, don't they look alike? But they're diametrically opposed. So similarly, this material nature or this earth planet, so that way we can also go a little further. The heavenly planet is the reflection of Sargaloka. Heavenly planet, Sargaloka, is a reflection of Vaikuntha. The residence of Vaikuntha has 4 hands. The residence of Sargaloka has 4 hands, 4 arms. Right? Residents of Vaikuntha are full of opulence. The residents of heavenly planet are full of opulence. But earth planet, the residents are 2-armed. So Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan, the residents are 2-armed. And as I was saying, Vaikuntha, there is no need for sun, moon and fire to light up. But in that world, sun rises, moon rises. There is night, there is morning. Just like this earth planet. Now what's the difference? The difference is this world is world of matter. That world is the pure spiritual world of spirits, the spiritual world. The difference is, in this world, whatever is happening is designed or arranged by the arrangement of the laws of the material nature. The sun rises exactly at some time. Everything happens by certain divine law. Those laws are defined as guna karma, the modes of material nature and living entities, activities. And this nature is being dominated by the demigods. They are dominating, they are controlling everything in this world. Whereas that world is arranged by, or things are happening in that world by Krishna's sweet will. For example, it was noontime and Krishna was in the field taking care of cows. And then Krishna wanted to dance with the gopis. So as soon as Krishna desired, then immediately it became dark. Daytime, sun disappeared. The full moon came. And Krishna started to play his flute. When the gopis came, Krishna danced. So that is how that world, things are happening just by Krishna's divine will. So that's how there is an understanding. What's the difference between what is material and spiritual? What is material world and what is spiritual world? The simple understanding is the material world is the world where we are the center. In here, we all individually are the center. Even an ant is thinking, I am the center of this creation. Everything is happening because of me, or for my sake. Don't you feel that way? So that is material nature. But the spiritual nature, spiritual world is the world where Krishna is the center. Everything there is happening by Krishna's sweet will. And everyone is focused into Krishna. That is the meaning of the word. We use the word Krishna conscious. Krishna conscious. Krishna consciousness means just being completely conscious of Krishna. Our consciousness is tuned into Krishna's consciousness. Whatever Krishna wants, that's happening there. And we are simply getting tuned into that. So that is the point. Like the topmost region of the spiritual sky is just like this earth planet. In the earth planet, the residents are, the human beings have 2 arms. In Golok Vrindavan, Krishna has 2 arms. Whereas in Vaikuntha, Narayan has 4 arms. The topmost region of Vaikuntha is Dwarka and Ayodhya. And there the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Ramchandra and Krishna Chandra. Ramchandra has 2 arms, Krishna Chandra has 2 arms. There. But there sometimes Krishna has 4 arms. In Dwarka sometimes Krishna manifests as 2 arms, sometimes he manifests as 4 arms. But in Vrindavan it is just 2 arms. And the Vrindavan looks just like the earth planet. And in the earth planet there is a Vrindavan which is not different from that Vrindavan. Anyway, this is how Srila Sanatana Goswami very wonderfully gave a very clear understanding of what the spiritual world is like and how can one achieve that region. Like in our journey that way, in our spiritual journey, there will be temptations. Like for example, from earth planet, when you got elevated to heavenly planet, the heavenly planet has inconceivable opportunities of enjoyment. Now if we get stuck there, if we get attracted to that allurements of enjoyment there goes our spiritual advancement. And we were seeing that Gopkumar is never interested in any of these allurements. Although he became Indra, he was not interested to enjoy the as Indra. Wherever he was, his only concern was how to become Krishna conscious and how to promote Krishna consciousness. So that's an important thing. Now the question arises, so when these opportunities come, those allurements come, what should we do? The safest way to deal with them is use them in Krishna's service. If you become the ruler of the entire earth planet someday, don't be surprised. Yeah, it may happen. Krishna may say, well, a new appointment for you. This earth is in a terrible state. All these rulers of different countries are useless characters. So you take the responsibility. I'm making you the king. And when Krishna does that, what would be your attitude? As a devotee, you will serve Krishna. Whatever you want. So you assume that responsibility, you assume that position, but what is going to be your attitude? As you are serving Krishna, let me promote Krishna consciousness. The whole earth planet people have become averse to Krishna consciousness. Dharma in this planet has taken a nosedive. So let us re-establish Dharma properly. Let us establish the principles of Dharma. Let us establish the glory of Krishna, and let us try to make everybody Krishna conscious. So that is the attitude of a devotee, and that's how a devotee is safe, no matter wherever he is. A devotee considers heaven and hell equal. Why? Because wherever he goes, he simply promotes Krishna consciousness. Ordinary people may think, oh no, I don't want to go to hell. But the devotee's attitude, well, if Krishna wants me to go, then I'll go. Even to hell. But if a devotee goes to hell, does he become subjected to the hellish condition? No. Example. Say, the Australian government sends somebody to a very poor country, and the country is in a terrible shape. But when Australian government sends him as an ambassador to that country, does he become affected by the condition of that country? No. Australian government makes the best possible arrangement, even better arrangement than he used to have in Sydney, in that remote Timbuktu. So that is the position of a devotee. Wherever he is sent with a specific assignment by the Lord, no matter whatever the condition is, like even if he goes to hell, therefore, he doesn't get affected by the hellish condition of hell. Even in hell, he is situated in Vaikuntha. Because he is the ambassador of Krishna. So that's why a devotee is not interested. Devotee is not concerned about where he is being sent, where he is being situated, in whichever condition. Whether it is the role of an ambassador, the role of a king, or role of an ordinary person. He simply spreads the glory of Krishna, and because he does that, he doesn't become affected by that situation. And so that's the thing, like a devotee, no matter wherever he is sent, wherever he goes, he is always perfectly situated. And his mood is Kita janama ho jatha tuadash. Even if I have to be born as an insect, let me be born in the association of your devotees. Because in the association of devotees, I'll have the opportunity to be Krishna conscious. In the association of devotees, I'll have the opportunity to chant the holy name. In the association of devotees, we'll have the opportunity to worship the Lord. And in the association of devotees, we can have Krishna Prasad. So that is how wonderful the situation of a devotee is, and that's how wonderfully Krishna always takes care of his devotees. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Gaur Premanande, and so all of you become very good devotees. Always remember that you got a wonderful opportunity by Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Because Srila Prabhupada came to the West, today Krishna consciousness has spread all over the world. Everywhere people are getting an opportunity, and the scope of this opportunity is expanding. And we are the fortunate ones who have received this opportunity. Let's take full advantage of it. Does anybody have any question? Yes.
I think you explained like a very wonderful example of ambassador of Krishna. But in our life, generally when we go through difficult situations, how can we maintain our faith in Krishna that this is a situation arranged by Krishna?
Well, it will depend. It will depend upon our surrender. The more we surrender, the more we recognize how it is Krishna's mercy. Right? Say, for example, you may say that when I'm facing a difficult situation, and say if I ask somebody, one who is thinking that he's in a very difficult situation, what is this difficult situation? If we ask him, what he may say, "Oh Maharaj, I lost my job. I don't have any money. I have all these difficulties." That's one way of looking at it. But the other way of looking at it is, "Oh, I'm getting this oxygen to breathe." Right? Can you imagine if we didn't have the oxygen to breathe, what would have been our condition? Now you compare breathing oxygen and losing your job. Is it any comparison at all? Now tell me, who is providing with this oxygen? And that's our problem. We are not considering how much Krishna has given us. We are simply concerned about what we didn't get. Right? See, in this world, consider what Krishna is giving us, all that Krishna is giving us. Krishna has given us all the food to eat. Did you ever starve in your life? No. Did you have ever shortage of water to drink? Did you have any dearth of oxygen to breathe? So why don't you consider that? And these are the gifts of Krishna. Right? So the point is that the more we become Krishna conscious, the more we become aware how much Krishna has given us. Therefore there is no need to copy. I lost my job, okay, so what? I'll come and serve in the temple. It's a good opportunity, isn't it? Now I have so much free time to render service in the temple that I always wanted to do. Right? And when I'm serving in the temple, I don't have to worry about prasad. Right? Devotees will be so happy with me that they'll give me a good portion of the Mahaprasad every day. So this is a life that one experiences when one becomes Krishna conscious. There's nothing to worry about. Krishna will always take care of us.
You mentioned that the journey towards spiritual planets begins when we receive the mantra from the Guru. So, before receiving initiation or the Harinam initiation, does our journey start?
Did you start chanting the mantra? So your spiritual life began, even if you didn't get formally initiated.
Should we be hankering for initiation, or should we just leave it up to the Krishna whenever he desires to be hankered?
Yes, one should. But one should not hanker for initiation just to get some status symbol. Yes, I am initiated. Right? Initiation should be accepted with proper understanding. Initiation actually means admission to the sampradaya. Now, when you get, is admission is enough, or studying is necessary? You may get admitted to a very prestigious university, but if you don't attend the classes and don't study, what's the use? So the initiation should be accepted with the right understanding.
In the Bhagavatam with the explanation, you said that Narad Muni went everywhere to search for the best and the topmost devotee of Lord Krishna. And he also reached to and found out that Indra is one of the topmost devotees. And at the same time, the Govardhan pastime, he failed to recognize Krishna's power.
Yeah, when you read Bhagavatamrita, you see that. Indra is not thinking he is the greatest devotee. Indra is saying that I am not. These are the mistakes I made. So he is directing the next one. Indra is directing to Lord Brahma. Similarly, Lord Brahma is also not saying I am the greatest devotee. He is directing to Lord Shiva. And this is how the journey goes. It is not up to us to judge, oh, Indra did this, Indra did that. The thing is, Narad Muni is searching the greatest devotee. And what is the greatest devotee saying, that's what we have to listen to.
You were mentioning the planets, you said Vaikuntha and Dwarka. But where does Mayapur appear in?
Yes, Mayapur, in Brihad Bhagavatamritam, it hasn't been, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the hidden incarnation and his dham is hidden. But the Goswamis have revealed what is Mayapur. In Golok there are two chambers. One is Vrindavan, the other is Mayapur. So Mayapur again also is in the same status as Vrindavan. Golok, Mayapur, the topmost region of the spiritual world. In Vrindavan, Krishna is enjoying Krishna prem, and in Mayapur, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is distributing Krishna prem. Okay.
You said there are 7 coverings throughout the Victor nature throughout our universe. What are their composition? How, earth, water, fire?
They're in the subtle form and the predominant, like primordial form. Earth there is in its causal form, and earth here is the effectual aspect of that causal. Clear? Okay.
You were talking about how when Gopakumar was chanting the mantra took him to various parts of the universe, and it shows how powerful the mantra was. Why is it that when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, it's so difficult to pay attention to it, but when we hear classes like today, it's so much easier to pay attention and focus when they're both transcendental?
Oh, what was the first part of your question? I couldn't get there.
Basically that the mantra is transcendental, but Krishna Katha is also transcendental. Why is it that it's easier to pay attention listening to Krishna Katha, but it's so difficult to pay attention while chanting?
Okay. It is because of our involvement with this world of senses. Because, you see, we are in this world entangled with this due to our senses. And there are all kinds of allurements in this world. Right? And in simple words, I would say that the narrations or descriptions or elaborate presentation, we can relate to them with our senses. But mantra is just a spiritual sound vibration. Because we are not able to relate to that with our senses as such, excepting only hearing, it is difficult to focus on that. But as we make spiritual advancement, it will happen. The spiritual advancement will make us detach from our sense of perceptions and will enable us to get spiritual advancement. question. Thank you. Did everybody hear that question? Okay. Yeah. His point was that mantra is there, Krishna's mercy, and but when there is, like you are giving the class and you can focus onto this better, then or we develop more interest in hearing this than chanting the mantra. Right? So point is, we can relate to the classes or descriptions or stories more than focusing the mind on mantra. Why is that? And did you get the answer? That because our present situation is more akin to our sense perception, because we are more interested in sense perception, that's why things that we can relate to with our sense perception has greater attraction than the mantra, which cannot be perceived by our senses as such, besides just hearing. Like for example, I'll give an example. When you're hearing the narration, stories, say, so to say, or descriptions, although you're hearing, but you're visualizing, right? Therefore it becomes easier to focus. When you're chanting mantra, you're just hearing the sound. There is no room for visualizing it. So today we have an occasion, a very important personality today is going to start our very important journey in the world of learning. So where is Radhika? So she is going to... Where's your mother? And where's your father? Come on. So ceremonially we are having...
There is a question on my end.
Okay.
So Jagannath Gopal has asked, Mayapur has only been revealed by Goswamis, but some may argue that this is a man-made idea. Has Mayapur been mentioned anywhere else? How do we understand?
Well, if you think it's a man-made idea, I wish you all the best. And our understanding is, whatever our authorities say, that is the truth and nothing but it. When Prabhupada said it, when Goswami said it, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, said it, then why should we doubt it? Hare Krishna.